Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Blue Eyes Talks. I'm Blue and I like to talk about figure skating. I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a little while, but I've been really busy with my job, so this is the first chance that I've got to make one. In today's video, I'm going to go over the ISU Grand Prix assignments and also mention some skaters who are making a comeback this season. Let's start with the men and go through competition by competition. So the first event in the Grand Prix series is the Grand Prix de France in Angers, and going to that one is Mikhail Salevko from Estonia, Luc Economides from France, Adam Sialhimhafar from France, another skater to be decided from France, Nika Edgards from Georgia, Gabriele Frangipani from Italy, Kal Miura from Japan, Tatsuya Tsuboi from Japan, Lukas Bridski from Switzerland, Ilya Malinin from the USA, Maxim Naumov from the USA, and Andrew Torgashev from the USA. From those skaters, obviously there is one to be decided from France, but from the skaters we know so far, my prediction for the podium would be Ilya Malinin, Adam Sialhimfar, and Kal Miura in some order. I'm not entirely sure which order I'd put them in yet. The second event is the Cup of China, held in Chongqing, China, and going to this one we have Vladimir Litvintsev from Azerbaijan, Daiwei Dai from China, Boyang Jin from China, another to be decided skater from China, Daniel Grassel from Italy, Shun Sato from Japan, Sota Yamamoto from Japan, Mikhail Shaidarov from Kazakhstan, Junwan Cha from Korea, Denis Vasilyevs from Latvia, Camden Polkinen from the USA, and Jacob Sanchez from the USA. If I had to try and predict a podium now, this one's a little bit more difficult, but I would say Shun Sato, Mikhail Shaidarov, and then either Daniel Grassel or Junwan Cha also on that podium. Again, I'm not sure about the order. The third event is Skate Canada in Saskatoon, Canada, and assigned to this one we have Stephen Gogolev from Canada, Alexa Rakic from Canada, Roman Sadovsky from Canada, Alexander Salevko from Estonia, Kevin Amos from France, Nika Edgards from Georgia, Nikolai Momola from Italy, Kal Miura from Japan, Kazuki Tomono from Japan, Vladimir Smoilov from Poland, Lucas Bruzard from the USA, and Ilya Malinin from the USA. If I had to pick a podium now, I would say Ilya Malinin, Kal Miura, and then I think a third person on the podium is quite open, so I think it could be potentially Kevin Amos, Kazuki Tomono, or even Roman Sadovsky if they skate well and others don't skate that well. The fourth event is the NHK Trophy in Osaka, Japan, and assigned to this one we have Boyang Jin from China, Francois Pito from France, Gabriele Frangipani from Italy, Matteo Rizzo from Italy, Yuma Kagiyama from Japan, Shun Sato from Japan, another to be decided skater from Japan, Junwan Cha from Korea, Lukas Bridski from Switzerland, Adam Hagara from Slovakia, Jimmy Ma from the USA, and Andrew Torgashev from the USA. If I had to pick a podium now, I would say Yuma Kagiyama and Shun Sato, and potentially either Junwan Cha or one of Gabriele Frangipani or Matteo Rizzo, depending on how well people skate on the day. The fifth event is Skate America in Lake Placid, and going to this one we have Vladimir Litvintsev from Azerbaijan, Daiwei Dai from China, Kevin Amos from France, Luc Economide from France, Corey Circelli from Italy, Daniel Grassel from Italy, Nikolai Momola from Italy, Kazuki Tomono from Japan, Tatsuya Tsuboi from Japan, Mikhail Shaidarov from Kazakhstan, Jason Brown from the USA, and another to be decided skater from the USA. To me, this is probably the most open field, and predicting a podium is the most difficult, but at this stage I would say Mikhail Shaidarov, Kazuki Tomono, and Kevin Amos would be my picks for a podium, but you could also potentially see someone like Daniel Grassel or Jason Brown. And then the final event of the Grand Prix series is the Finlandia Trophy in Helsinki. And going to this one we have Roman Sadowski from Canada, Mihail Selevko from Estonia, a skater from Finland to be decided, Adam Sialhimfa from France, Matteo Rizzo from Italy, Yuma Kagiyama from Japan, Sota Yamamoto from Japan, Denis Vasiljevs from Latvia, Andreas Nordback from Sweden, Lucas Broussard from the USA, Jason Brown from the USA, and Jimmy Ma from the USA. Choosing a podium, I would say Adam Sialhimfa and Yuma Kagiyama, along with either Jason Brown, Roman Sadowski, or Matteo Rizzo. Next, let's discuss the assignments for the women. At the Grand Prix de France, we have Nina Petrokina from Estonia, Lorraine Shield from France, and 2 skaters to be decided from France, Ami Nakai from Japan, Kaori Sakamoto from Japan, Rion Sumiyoshi from Japan, Cheon Kim from Korea, Young Yu from Korea, Livia Kaiser from Switzerland, Isabeau Vito from the USA, and Elise Lynn Gracie from the USA. If I had to choose a podium now, I would say Kaori Sakamoto, Isabeau Vito, and Cheon Kim in some order. For the next event, the Cup of China, we have Yi Zhu from China and 2 skaters to be decided from China, Anastasia Gubanova from Georgia, Rino Matsuike from Japan, Hana Yoshida from Japan, Rinko Watanabe from Japan, Heian Lee from Korea, Jia Shin from Korea, Kimi Rapon from Switzerland, Amber Glenn from the USA, and Alyssa Liu from the USA. If I had to try and pick a podium now, I would say Alyssa Liu, Amber Glenn, and potentially Hana Yoshida or Rinko Watanabe, but I wouldn't discount Jia Shin. At the third event, Skate Canada, we've got Nina Pinzarone from Belgium, Sarah Maud Dupuis from Canada, Madeline Skizas from Canada, another to be decided skater from Canada, Lara Naki-Gutman from Italy, Yuna Aoki from Japan, Monet Chiba from Japan, Ami Nakai from Japan, Asun Yun from Korea, Sarah Everhart from the USA, Isabeau Levito from the USA, and Brady Tennell from the USA. If I had to choose a podium now, I would say Isabeau Levito, Monet Chiba, and probably Nina Pinzarone in some order. Then at the fourth event, the NHK Trophy, we've got Luna Hendricks from Belgium, Nina Pinzarone from Belgium, Catherine Medland Spence from Canada, Anna Pezzata from Italy, Wakaba Higuchi from Japan, Kaori Sakamoto from Japan, a skater to be decided from Japan, Sofia Samodelkina from Kazakhstan, Young Yu from Korea, Kimi Rapon from Switzerland, Sarah Everhart from the USA, and Elise Lynn Gracie from the USA. If I had to choose a podium now, I would probably say Kaori Sakamoto, Luna Hendricks, but we're not sure about her condition, and Wakaba Higuchi. At the fifth event, Skate America, we've got Leia Serna from France, Anastasia Gubanova from Georgia, Lara Naki-Gutman from Italy, Wakaba Higuchi from Japan, Rinko Watanabe from Japan, Hana Yoshida from Japan, Cheon Kim from Korea, Heian Lee from Korea, Ekaterina Kurakova from Poland, Alyssa Liu from the USA, and 2 skaters to be decided from the USA. If I had to choose a podium now, I would say Alyssa Liu, Cheon Kim, and Wakaba Higuchi or Hana Yoshida. And then for the final event, the Finlandia Trophy, we've got Luna Hendricks from Belgium, Madeline Skizas from Canada, Nina Petrokina from Estonia, Ida Karinen from Finland, and 2 to be decided skaters from Finland, Lorraine Shield from France, Monet Chiba from Japan, Rino Matsuike from Japan, Rion Sumiyoshi from Japan, Amber Glenn from the USA, and Brady Tennell from the USA. If I had to choose the podium now, I would say Luna Hendricks, Amber Glenn, and Monet Chiba. Now let's discuss the assignments for pairs. At the first event, the Grand Prix de France, we have Anastasia Gulabeva and Hector Giotopoulos Moore from Australia, Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps from Canada, Aurélie Fowler and Theo Bell from France, and 2 to-be-decided teams from France, Maria Pavlova and Alexei Sviatchenko from Hungary, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara from Japan, and Audrey Shin and Balazs Nagy from the USA. Choosing a podium now, I would say Miura and Kihara, Stellato-Dudek and Deschamps, and Gulabeva and Giotopoulos Moore. At the second event, the Cup of China, we've got assigned Fiona Bombardier and Benjamin Mima from Canada, Wenjing Sui and Song Han from China, who are the reigning Olympic champions making their comeback, and 2 to-be-decided teams from China, Anastasia Metelkina and Luca Berulava from Georgia, Sara Conti and Niccolò Macchi from Italy, Katie McBeath and Daniel Parkman from the USA, and Ekaterina Gainish and Dmitry Chikarev from Uzbekistan. If I had to choose the podium now, I would not want to bet against Sui and Han, and I would probably also say Metelkina and Berulava and Conti and Macchi. For the third event, Skate Canada, we've got Anastasia Gulabeva and Hector Giotopoulos Moore from Australia, Kellyanne Lauren and Lucas Essier from Canada, Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud from Canada, Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps from Canada, Anastasia Vipin-Law and Luke Digby from Great Britain, Minerva Fabian-Haas and Nikita Volodin from Germany, Oksana Vulisiamos and Tom Bouvard from Switzerland, and Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea from the USA. If I had to choose the podium now, I would say Hassa and Volodin, Stellato-Dudek and Deschamps, and either Cam and O'Shea or Gulabeva and Giotopoulos Moore. At the fourth event, the NHK Trophy, we've got Wenjing Sui and Song Han from China, Kamil Kovalev and Pavel Kovalev from France, Maria Pavlova and Alexei Sviatchenko from Hungary, Sara Conti and Niccolò Macchi from Italy, a team to be decided from Japan, Daria Danilova and Mikhail Tsiba from the Netherlands, Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov from the USA, and Emily Chan and Spencer Akira Howe from the USA. At the moment, the podium I would say would be Sui and Han, Pavlova Sviatchenko, and Conti and Macchi, but of course we don't know what condition Sui and Han are in. At the fifth event, Skate America, we've got Kellyanne Lauren and Lucas Essier from Canada, Anastasia Metelkina and Luca Berulava from Georgia, Annika Hocker and Robert Kunkel from Germany, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara from Japan, Olivia Flores and Luke Wang from the USA, Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez from the USA, a team to be decided from the USA, and Ekaterina Gainish and Dmitry Chikarev from Uzbekistan. Choosing this podium, I would say Miura and Kihara, Metelkina and Berulava, and Hocker and Kunkel. And then finally for the Finlandia Trophy, we've got Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud from Canada, Jia Suang Zhang and Yiyang Huang from China, Minerva Fabian-Haas and Nikita Volodin from Germany, Rebecca Gilardi and Filippo Ambrosini from Italy, Yuna Nagaoka and Sumitada Moriguchi from Japan, Lula Chechenia and Mikhail Wozniak from Poland, Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov from the USA, and Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea from the USA. If I had to choose the podium now, I would say Hassa and Volodin, Cam and O'Shea, and either Efimova and Mitrofanov or Gilardi and Ambrosini. For pairs, it's going to be incredibly exciting to see Wenjing Sui and Song Han come back, especially if they're in anywhere near the condition they were in when they won Olympic gold last time. And then finally we have ice dance. So at the first event, the Grand Prix de France, we have Marie-Jade Laurilat and Romain Lagac from Canada, Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Guillaume Cizeron from France, a new team this season, and 2 to-be-decided teams from France, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin from Georgia, Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson from Great Britain, Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri from Italy, Alison Reed and Saulis Ambrolevicius from Lithuania, Emily Bratti and Ian Somerville from the USA, and Ava Pat and Logan Bai from the USA. Choosing the podium, I would say Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri, Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson, and then potentially Alison Reed and Sauerles Ambrolivicius, or even Fournier Beaudry and Cizeron, depending on their condition. At the second event, the Cup of China, we've got Zizi Zhao and Ling Haohe from China, Junfei Ren and Jianing Xing from China, and a team to be decided from China. Olivia Smart and Tim Dieck from Spain, Lucia Demago and Theo Lemercier from France, Evgenia Lopareva and Jeffrey Brizeau from France, Hannah Lim and Ye Kwan from Korea, Madison Chock and Evan Bates from the USA, Caroline Green and Michael Parsons from the USA, and Emilia Zingas and Vadim Kolesnik from the USA. Choosing a podium, I would say Madison Chock and Evan Bates, Lopareva and Brizeau, and Smart and Dieck. For the third event, Skate Canada, we've got Piper Gilles and Paul Poirier from Canada, Marjorie Lahoy and Zachary Laha from Canada, and a team to be decided from Canada. Katerina Mrazkova and Daniel Mrazek from Czech Republic, Julia Turkila and Matthias Vsluis from Finland, Jennifer Jans van Rensburg and Benjamin Stefan from Germany, Alison Reed and Sauerles Ambrolivicius from Lithuania, Emily Bratty and Ian Somerville from the USA, Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko from USA, and Leah Nesset and Artem Merkelov from USA. If I had to choose a podium now, I would say Gilles and Poirier, Lashui and Laha, and Reed and Ambrolivicius. At the fourth event, the NHK Trophy in Japan, we've got Alicia Fabry and Paul Ayer from Canada, Natalie Tashlarova and Philip Tashler from Czech Republic, Yuka Orihara and Juno Pirinen from Finland, Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson from Great Britain, Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri from Italy, Azusa Tanaka and Shingo Nishiyama from Japan, Yutana Yoshida and Masaya Morita from Japan, Caroline Green and Michael Parsons from USA, Maya Shibutani and Alex Shibutani from USA, making their comeback, and Katerina Volkostin and Dmitry Tsarevsky from USA. If I had to choose the podium now, I'd say Guinard and Fabry, Fear and Gibson, and then potentially Tashlarova and Tashler, or even Shibutani, depending on their condition. At the fifth event, Skate America, we've got Marjorie Lahoy and Zachary Laha from Canada, Katerina Mrazkova and Daniel Mrazek from Czech Republic, Lucia Demago and Theo Lemercier from France, Selina Fraggi and Jean-Han Fournier from France, Evgenia Lopareva and Jeffrey Brizeau from France, Phoebe Becker and James Hernandez from Great Britain, Noemi Maria Tali and Noah Lafornara from Italy, Madison Chock and Evan Bates from the USA, Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko from the USA, and a team to be decided for the USA. If I had to choose the podium, I would say Chock and Bates, Lajoie and Laha, and then Lopareva and Brizeau. And then at the final event, the Finlandia Trophy, we've got Piper Gilles and Paul Poirier from Canada, Natalie Tashlarova and Philip Tashler from Czech Republic, Olivia Smart and Tim Dieck from Spain, Julia Turkila and Matthias Vsluis from Finland, Yuka Orihara and Juno Pirinen from Finland, Lawrence Fournier Beaudry and Guillaume Cizeron from France, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin from Georgia, Una Brown and Gage Brown from USA, Maya Shibutani and Alex Shibutani from USA, and Emilia Zingas and Vadim Kolesnik from USA. If I had to choose the podium now, I would say Gilles and Poirier, and then potentially Tashlarova Tashler, Smart Dieck, even Turkila Vsluis or Fournier Beaudry and Cizeron, or, depending on their condition, Shibutani. Beyond Gilles and Poirier, I think this is quite open. The Grand Prix series doesn't start until October, so there is plenty of time for things to be shaken up. One thing I did see being discussed was that Jia Shin, junior world silver medalist, only has one assignment. This could very well change if and when someone withdraws, and she could get a second assignment. along with someone like Mai Mihara, who doesn't have any assignments at the moment. So it's worth bearing in mind that this is just a preliminary look at the assignments, and closer to the actual events, I'll go in detail and give a more accurate, I think, podium prediction. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If there is a topic you'd like me to cover, please do let me know in the comments or on social media. My card with all of my links is in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!